multiplying decimals. The notes are here off to the left. It says you don't have to line up the decimal points, it's like you do when you're adding and subtracting decimals. Multiply as usual. So don't even worry about the decimal point until you get to the very end. Just multiply like you normally would. And then when we get to the end, we'll talk about that. So this first example says 2 3/10 times 4. Now, you would want to put the ones with more digits on the top, not necessarily the bigger number like you do when you're subtracting. So what I did was I took 2 3/10 times 4. I multiplied the 4 times the 3 and got 12. The 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1 is 9. Okay, now you get to the very end and you have to put a decimal in your answer because 2 3/10 times 4 is not 92. That doesn't even make any sense. So look at your third star in your rules here off to the left. It says in your answer, move the decimal left as many places as there are in your problem, as many decimal places. So you can see here in example 1 that there is one decimal place here, this number right here. And there are none here because there's nothing after the decimal point. So I only need to move my decimal point one place. All right, let's take a look at the second example. The second example is 1 5/10 times 6/10, and it's already stacked up on top of each other. The decimals just so happen to be lined up, but they don't have to be. It's just the way this problem was designed. It just happened to be lined up. So let's take our 6 times 5, you get 30. You take the 6 times the 1 and you get 6 plus 3 is 9. Now you kill it, bury it, so you have that 0 placeholder and destroy the evidence. And you want to multiply everything by 5. Now technically you could skip this step, but we'll just keep going for this sake. 0 times 5 is 0, 0 times 1 is 0. We add them together. You get 0 here, 9 here. So you have 90, all right? And you want to move, this has one decimal place. This has one decimal place. So altogether, that's 2. So you want to go 2 places left. So your answer is 0 and 90 hundredths. All right. Now, example number 3 is not stacked up. So you want to make sure you do that too. So you have 5 and 23 hundredths times 7 tenths. Now, notice I didn't line up my decimal points here. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 2 is 14. 15, 16. 7 times 5 is 35, plus 1 is 36. Now I'm just going to skip this step in this one. I don't really need to multiply by the 0 because I'm just going to end up with a bunch of zeros there to add on to. So let's take a look at our decimal places. We have 2 decimal places here, and we have 1 decimal place here. So we have 3 altogether. So we're going to start at the end and go left. 1, 2, 3. So my answer is 3 and 661 thousandths. Let's take a look at example 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. I'm going to skip multiplying by those zeros because it's not going to make any difference. I have 2 zeros, 2 decimal places here, and I have 2 decimal places here. Even though those are zeros, they still count as decimal places. So I have 4 altogether. Altogether I have 4, so I have to go 4 places. But you can see I don't have 4 numbers. So I'm going to start at the end, and I'm going to go left 4 places. 1, 2, 3. Now I have to make like a 0 here and go around it. So my answer is 0.0006, which is 6 ten-thousandths. All right, ran out a little bit of room for example number 5, but hopefully you get the idea.